Okay, so now let's figure out how to find angles from trig functions, okay? So let's say you have tangent A is equal to 2.0503. So we want to find angle A. Now to do that, we have to find what we call the inverse function of tangent. So what we have to do is we have to multiply both sides by the inverse function of tangent. So this becomes tangent, so the way we write that is tangent -1 to -1. That's what we call the inverse function. Okay, and then we also have to multiply this by tangent -1. So the tangents, if you multiply any function by its inverse, they cancel out. So thus leaving us with the angle, which is going to be equal to the inverse function tangent of 2.0503. Okay, so the only way to really solve this is plug into a calculator, and that's what I did. Alright, and it's roughly 64 degrees. So this isn't exact, but it's roughly 64 degrees. So that's how you plug it in, solve it if you are just using a calculator. So there's no real elegant way of doing this. However, let's say if we're given, say, a right triangle, alright, and we're given two sides, 55 and 51. Okay? And we want to know what this angle is. Okay? And there's a way to find out. Since we're given two sides, we can figure out what trig function we have to use. So, since we want to find this angle, we want to know what this side is in relation to this angle. Is this opposite or adjacent? So this is actually the opposite of this angle. Alright, and what is this going to be? This right here, by the drawing, this is the longest side. So this is the hypotenuse. So we're going to have opposite over adjacent. Alright, so if you remember SOHCAHTOA, alright, so, which is opposite over, oh no, I'm sorry. This is opposite over hypotenuse, right? Okay. So is SOH. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So this should equal sine, let's call this angle, angle capital A. Okay? Sine of capital A. Okay, so this sine of capital A is going to be equal to 51 over 55. Okay? So, like we did before, we have to find the inverse function of sine to, well, find angle A. So A is equal to the inverse function sine 51 over 55. And the only way to do that is to plug into the calculator. So I shall do that. So if you look at the calculator, what you do on a Windows calculator looks like this. So it's 51 divided by 55. Okay, and then what you do is you click on inverse and then sine. And you should get the answer. It's roughly 68 degrees. So the answer is 68 degrees.